Hey, welcome back and happy Saturday to you. And since it is Saturday, you should already know this means it's another segment of
Saturday, Shutter Saturday!
Yeah, that's right, another segment of Shutter Saturday. And on this episode of Shutter Saturday, we're going to be doing a double-decker. No, that's a double-decker taco. I'm talking a double-decker of movies. Today we're going to be talking about the short film that's exclusively on the Shutter channel, and that's The White Girl. And the second film we're going to be talking about that's playing exclusively on the Shutter channel is The Call, starring Lin Shaye and Tobin Bell. And the first film we're going to be talking about today is White Girl, directed by Nadia Latif. We are following the main character of the story, which is a teenage white girl. She's walking through the darkened city streets of London, and however, she's seeming to be needing some help from people. However, we're not exactly sure why. However, every time she makes encounter with people, something is happening to those people after she had just made the encounter with them. As this short story progresses, we find out that the young teenage girl is actually the one doing harm, but we're not exactly sure. Is this supernatural? Is this some kind of dark entity that she is? We're not exactly sure what it is. However, it is actually very interesting. I won't go into any more details about the short film, but I will say the movie is actually pretty good. For being a short film and only being 13 minutes, it's actually done very well. The lighting is very well done in this movie. Since this is a short film, there's not a whole lot of character development. It's only 13 minutes long, like I was saying. However, for the short amount of time that we do get different characters on the screen, the portraying of these actors is actually done very well. They actually do a very good job. After the conclusion of this movie with the short runtime, it kind of left me wanting more. I was kind of scratching my head at the end of the movie going like, oh shoot, that's right. It is a short film, and it kind of left you hanging, so I kind of wanted to know more, and I thought the movie was actually very well done, and it was actually very well paced, even though it is 13 minutes. I did feel like it was more of an introduction to something bigger, so maybe we'll get something else from this director later on, maybe a continuation of the story. Or if you want to see something short and well done, something original, something kind of leaves you hanging and wanting more, definitely check out White Girl, which is on the Shutter channel. Actually, it would also be kind of cool to see this director grow. I would actually like to see what Nadia Latif would actually do later on in her career. So to see her evolve from what she did in this to something else would actually be very cool. And actually would be also pretty cool to see how the story continues on if we get a continuation of the story. So definitely check out White Girl on the Shutter channel. Which brings me to the next movie. I'll keep this nice and short. Our next movie is called The Call, starring Lin Shaye and Tobin Bell. In the next film, The Call, Tobin Bell and Lin Shaye play a married couple. However, Lin Shaye's character commits suicide because she's accused of something very insidious by some bratty kids. In a very Jigsaw fashion, Tobin Bell reaches out to these kids and lets them know, hey, you can win some money if you come to my house. All you have to do is answer this phone call and talk to my dead wife. So these not-so-young teenagers accept Jigsaw's proposal. They just have to go to the house, answer the phone call from Lin Shaye's ghost, and however, they have to survive the 1-minute phone call in order to receive this money. However, every time one of them answers the phone call, they are either got some paranormal or they have some sort of out-of-body experience or some sort of nightmare, because every time they answer the phone, they are reliving some sort of horrible trauma that they have experienced. As far as scary or anything new, this movie did not offer any of that. All the scares you could see a mile away. They're all standard jump scares that you've seen hundreds of times from anything that's been in the Conjuring universe or anything that's been rejected from the Conjuring universe. So I was kind of like not really impressed with the scares. I was actually more impressed that Lin Shaye and Tobin Bell agreed to be in this movie because they are the ones that sell this movie all together. The acting in this movie is kind of like whatever. The teenagers in this movie are not very likable. They all look like they're about 30 years old. But like I said, the selling point of this movie is Tobin Bell and Lin Shaye. They actually carried the movie very well. And back to what I was saying about how each of these older teenagers are answering the phone call, and they have some sort of astral projection moment, or they have some sort of nightmare because they were frozen. However, they're off in the dream world or some sort of out-of-body experience. Every time they're in this like neither world or the further, it kind of just feels like you're waiting for Freddy Krueger to pop out, because I felt like this looks more like a Nightmare on Elm Street dream sequence than anything. I was like, you know, with the coloring that they use, because a lot of the tints of the lights that they're using were either red or green, and it kind of looked like a lot of like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 kind of vibes. I was like, okay, when's Freddy gonna pop out at any moment? Because I was like, it's almost set up that way. The movie The Call was just okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. However, unfortunately, this movie is kind of very forgettable. It's very standard kind of jump scares, like I was saying. So you could probably watch and probably forget about it within an hour. So thanks again for coming to my channel. Hopefully you like what you see here. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'm Mike the Movie Misfit, and I'll see you at the movies.
more out of life. Go out to a movie.